Welcome back, Joyce.
Thank you.
Good to be sitting on the sofa with you this week. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot for joining us there at home. We really appreciate it. Of course, it's the girls in the trailer park. We're getting ready to talk some trash. This is Joyce.
I'm Joyce.
And I'm Terry.
And that's Terry.
And we're the trailer park girls talking trash. Thanks for joining us.
Like we do.
So, I thought we'd start off today with an educational portion of the program. Who knew? But let's talk about the trailer park trash spotting. This is where we teach you folks at home how to pick out us and our neighbors. Right? Isn't that right, Joyce?
Yes.
So, I think a couple of episodes ago, we talked about our good friend Eric, and you know how you spot him when it's raining out. He's got a stripe down his back, right?
That's because of his car. I'm going to finish the story because his car.
The story about
sure.
Yeah, the rock. Yeah.
A continuation of the Eric story.
The Eric story.
The last one was the reason he had the streak down his back was because the fender had rusted out in the back of his little Samurai, so the water came up and over and soaked the back of him. Like that was
straight down the back.
Previous episode. But now the Samurai, the hole's getting bigger.
Bigger.
Of course, it always happens. And so he was driving along a gravel road one day, and well, all of a sudden this rock came flying in from behind him, hit the dash, and back right in the middle of his forehead.
Third eye, man.
Third eye, right there. Hit him. That would be kind of unexpected for me if I was sitting in the car, but anyway, that's what happened to poor Eric, and we're going to put that in the how to spot a trailer park trash as the vehicle. Some of them just are really rusted through. They've seen better days.
Right. So you're getting pummeled by rocks from your own car. Could be trailer park trash. Ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Look out for them. Because we like to have fun. We're poor, absolutely, but we like to have a good time,
We still want to do stuff.
We still want to do stuff,
and we still like to have the real expensive equipment to do it with. But we got to do it.
Right.
I mean,
we make do and get it done, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's fun.
Because if you live in the trailer park, you have to be handy. We learn and adapt, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Moving on to... now look, this is the segment that Joyce designed for the show, and I love this segment. It's of course, the Taking Back Words portion of the show.
Right.
And this week I want to take back the word freak. Freak, ladies and gentlemen, the word freak, yeah.
Freak.
Freak.
Yeah, that got thrown out for some reason, didn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Look, in the 80s, when I was going to university, a bunch of us knew this great guy, Cheech Cesar. And,
Cheech.
Cheech. His real name was Cesar, but his handle was Cheech. And he called us freaks. Oh, my freak. Oh, you freak. And it was a total term of endearment. And so, I looked up in the dictionary, of course, the definition of freak. And the first one is a person, plant, or animal that is abnormal or deformed. Abnormal or deformed. So I'll take that. I'd rather be abnormal than normal, quite frankly, right?
Way more fun on the abnormal side.
Exactly. Yes. Well, exactly. Good guys go to heaven, and bad girls go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so do the freaks, ladies and gentlemen. And, normal, for me, I guess, is just another synonym kind of for mediocre, right? For mediocre. That which fits in the middle. I guess that's all right, but I don't necessarily want to be that. I'm much happier being different, abnormal, trailer park trash. I'm good with that.
I like the pet term of freak.
Yeah.
I like being used when you can call your friends a freak or a retard or a moron.
Yeah.
It fits in with those words, and it should be brought back. It's cute.
Yeah, out to Mark and Elizabeth and some of you folks out there, Jane. Hey, you freaks!
Oh, and Ben.
Ben,
Number
you
one freak.
Ben, animal, you freak.
There, okay, you got it back.
Joyce Pa, you freak. Look, we thank you all for watching, and yeah, the freaks are taking it back. We're taking it back.
Absolutely.
The freaks are, yeah, we're taking it back.
Bring that mama.
Freaks, freaks, we love it.
All right.
Okay. So moving on to
Mission accomplished.
exactly, call all your friends a freak. We love it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the look at this is the guy we hate to love and love to hate. He's a quash artist. Of course, we're talking about our friend, the I don't care taker.
Right.
So look, it's getting to the time of year where you know, it's time to set up the pool here in the trailer park. This trailer park has an outdoor pool.
We rock, man.
We rock. We have an outdoor pool.
We've got an outdoor pool.
And so besides pawning off as much work as he can that goes along with that, there's a lot that goes along with that, right, Tracy?
Yes, there is.
And you've been
sucked into
helping out with the tarp and stuff. Tell the folks at home
out with the tarp
about
and stuff.
Setting up the pool.
So
I don't care taker setting up the pool.
I don't caretaker. It's just one of those jobs that you really don't want to do because it involves a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah, it doesn't just
all
happen.
At once.
All at once.
All
yeah,
at once.
Really interrupts your downtime. So, part of it was to spread the tarp out. Well, that is huge. You know, that's not a one-man show. Actually, you get about 4 for that one. Usually, we can round up a few of the peanut gallery to help out with that one.
Right.
But then, you know, our pool is ran by solar heat.
Solar panels.
Solar
panels
up on the roof of the
solar
office.
Freaking panels.
Solar, yeah. And so, you know, it's really cool that that's how it heats the whole thing, saves all kinds of energy, everything's good.
But it takes a minute.
But it takes more than a minute. It takes like about a month to really get that pool warm to begin with, right?
Got it.
So that's kind of like...
That's a lot of minutes.
That's a lot of minutes. Yeah, a lot of minutes. We got a lot of people here in middle of July just wanting to go for a swim and they can't take the cold. It's
a little
just
chilly
cold.
still, yeah. Right.
Yeah, it needs a little bump up once in a while.
You can start earlier, perhaps.
But yeah, absolutely, that's where we're going. You know, I mean all that stuff. We could just do that earlier and
save the hassle.
Right. Got to leave it for the last minute.
Well, that's because he doesn't care. He's the I don't care taker, right? So last minute, I don't care.
Absolutely.
Okay. So and
I love our solar heated pool.
Right.
It's beautiful pool.
It's beautiful pool. It's great in the summer. And, we're lucky to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and our caretaker manages to suck people into helping them get it all set up because it is a big job. Got to vacuum the floor of it with this big. Yeah.
But every summer it gets set up. And we go splashing and have a good time.
Yes.
And we're pretty happy about that, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that's our little bump on the I don't caretaker for the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So moving on to, well, I guess, you know, this is probably my favorite segment of the whole show, folks, because this is where I get to go off about whatever I want. I'm talking about the politically correct segment of the show, folks. So this week, I'd like to talk about HIV positive. The human immunodeficiency virus. When you test positive for that, then you have the potential to have AIDS. So look the reason I want to talk about this today is because it seems to me people are still as ill-educated as they were in the 80s when a couple of my really good friends got AIDS, and one of them died within 5 years, and one of them is living strong and living life and having a good time. But I talk to people and they're still ill-informed and they're still afraid. People are still afraid. And I don't know what the problem is, but you know, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, there's only a couple of ways to get HIV positive status. One of them is through unprotected sex, and one of them is through IV needles, or blood transfusion.
Right.
You know, it's the exchange of blood with somebody who's HIV positive,
Right.
and that's it.
And not because you bumped into them in the elevator. Now you got it. The thing got out of
you
control.
Gotta be bleeding into my open wound.
Absolutely.
And that's it. You know,
you get spit in your eye.
Right, and that doesn't count. Right?
Right.
We can share food and a meal, and it's fine.
Right.
And you know, all of these weird laws still exist that were created in the 80s out of fear and ignorance. You know, people wanted to contain the disease, so they set up rules about travel for people who are HIV positive. They set up rules about how you can't get visas in other countries to work. I mean, it's ridiculous. Right. We don't do this with people who have genital herpes or diabetes or chlamydia or heart disease. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it
exactly. It is just a disease, no different than the other ones, because it's gone where it went. Just because you have it doesn't mean that you're an evil person, whatever that is. But
you know, I'm glad you say that, because there's still this kind of BS judgment that goes with some people's ideas about, oh, I'm HIV positive. You know, there's many people are still very judgmental about it. Oh, it's irresponsible. There's some kind of judgment. Well, you know, there are all kinds of STDs, from chlamydia to syphilis to all kinds of stuff. Herpes, like I said, genital warts, I mean, which freak me out, and nobody is contained or restrained because of that. Right. And it annoys me, because I know and love people who are HIV positive, and they're treated a lot differently than we are. And here's the other thing, you know, if you're going to survive, you got to take 3 pockets full of meds every day. And some of them you got to take on an empty stomach, some you've got to take on a full stomach, some you can't have dairy products with. I mean, you need a flow chart just to make all of this happen. But if you do, I mean, you can live as long as I will.
You're not a leper.
Yeah, and you're not a leper, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus, Google it, for crying out loud.
How many millions and millions of people are actually living with it right now? And, you know, like, people got to stop their cringing and say, no, don't touch me, because it's not
retarded.
In that.
It's
so
ridiculous.
Not in that place.
Right.
You don't get it by touching.
Right.
You don't get it unless you have sex with the person.
Or they bleed into your open wound. Really, that's it.
That's it.
You know, and the only other
person... And I'm sure that the world doesn't want to stop having sex.
No.
Because one person had sex and was unlucky enough to get it from another person.
Or had a blood transfusion. Or shared a needle.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We're not going to stop sex. And I mean, even using condoms, they break. You know, like, nothing's foolproof, except
nothing's foolproof.
Everybody stopped.
Life is
and
short.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just don't.
I don't.
Not in our world.
And you know, I'd like to give a shout out to the comic Dane Cook. He's the only other guy I've heard discuss this whole HIV thing. And he does it in his act. He talks about his friend who's HIV positive. And he talks about this guy carrying his pills in his pocket and dropping them and picking them up and eating them off the floor. And it's hilarious. And he's the only guy I've heard talk about this. And the fear mongers that are still out there. And I've had it. So educate yourselves and stop judging, ladies and gentlemen. We're all in this together, and more love is what we need. And rethink some of these ridiculous, archaic rules about people who are HIV positive working globally. It's ridiculous and judgmental and archaic.
Archaic.
Yeah, simpletons. So anyhow, moving on.
Absolutely.
Well, look we're back to the other educational portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, that's the how to be handy tip of the week. Because look in the trailer park, we've made this clear, you just have to be handy.
absolutely remember the old.
So yeah,
fixes everything except for
exactly.
Eric's
Right.
vehicle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Even waterproof silicone isn't going to do that. He needs a different vehicle.
Right.
We're working on that.
Okay.
So look at, but the how to be handy tip this week is stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. Some projects take more time than others, and the key is stay focused. Joyce went out recently on Stormy Jake, her boat, by herself. And the whole Captain Joyce, her first mate, wasn't there. That's me. And so the whole steering cable system went awry. It went awry, ladies and gentlemen. And you were out there with, I think, a pair of pliers.
It really wasn't my solo trip. My solo trip was a short little jaunt and back, and then
this happened.
With my second trip. No, I'm going really solo this time because I'm going to go spend the whole afternoon out there fishing.
Fishing is the goal.
I love fishing. I love fishing. Live right on the ocean.
I like not fishing because I'm a Buddhist, but I love that you love fishing.
Yeah.
Because then I get to go not fishing. Anyhow. You know what I mean.
Got it. So I take my second solo trip and I'm out there boogieing around and I do the fishing thing and nothing's biting. I better move somewhere else. And I feel adventurous this time because I know that our boat isn't quite up to par just yet. And without a secondary motor, I like to be able to see land at all times.
Right.
This is only sensible because I'm sensible sometimes.
Right. Oh, on occasion.
It happens.
Right.
It happens. It's been known to happen. Yeah. So I'm boogieing out there and I'm driving along and all of a sudden my hat blew off.
Oh,
my hat, my favorite hat.
Favorite outdoor, going fishing hat.
Going fishing hat.
Off it goes.
Way it goes.
In the wind, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no. So I look back and it's floating. I can see it there.
It's floating.
What is a floatable hat?
Fantastic.
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 So, now I know we have a faulty steering and we're supposed to be really careful with the steering on this.
Really careful with the steering.
Right. But
it's the favorite hat.
It's my hat. So I make a big, huge turnaround and they come back and I'm not even close to the hat this time. So then I have to go and make another. I'm doing my figure eights here, come back over, and I reached over with this grapple thing we have, and I missed it by like that much.
Oh, so the grapple was too short.
Yeah.
Curses.
So then I'm not going to leave it. It's my hat.
It's my fishing hat.
My fishing hat.
It's not staying.
My daughter bought me this hat.
Right.
This is a special hat.
A special hat.
I'm not just going to let it go.
Right.
Outback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I make this other circle to come around, and as I'm coming around, my steering cable snapped.
Snapped, ladies and gentlemen.
No steering, none whatsoever.
Spin the wheel, nothing. Nothing.
On the back is this big, huge 50 mercury, 500.
It's big, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big mama, and it's
I'm
hard
not steering
to
it by hand.
No,
That's not going to
not
happen.
on.
So, okay,
it's
now
not like a kicker.
I'm kind of in trouble here. I have no tools, right? But I did bring up a set
pair
of pliers. Right?
Yeah.
So then I'm working away and figuring out how I can do this because if I hook that cable to that cable and that cable over there, I'm kind of figuring out a plan on how to fix all this stuff.
This might be all right.
This could happen. So I throw my anchor in. I had to throw my anchor in because I'm going to be busy and I can't be floating around one.
Safety first, ladies and gentlemen.
But I'm in the middle of the channel and I let out
deep.
Very, very deep. About 150 feet and I was getting short on rope now. So I tied that up and I let it dangle.
Right.
Because I thought wherever the tide takes me, eventually I'm going to hit someplace it'll grab.
Right. It'll grab somewhere. There's less water.
I'm sure it's going to grab something before I'm going to hit anything. So I'm good with that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And fix stuff. The steering in particular. The cable.
Okay. So I get my cables and I start pulling and I kind of undo this and I undo that and eventually I'm working on it and it comes together.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was huge, but I had to take this piece off.
Still don't have your hat though, right?
Oh, right.
Right.
Well, I'm working on this. I'm pulling it all together and trying to... I look up and look who's floating over to me. It's my
coming this
hat.
way.
It's my hat. It's coming right on by. So I took the paddle out and I was paddling over. Paddle. My hat.
And got the favorite hat,
and I
ladies and
picked it up.
gentlemen. She
That was
retrieved it.
I was so happy with that.
And it looks good now from the salt water. It looks all nice and clean.
So now I don't even have to worry about the hat. I can go right to work on my cable problem.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's nothing easy about. We're talking
especially with just a pair of pliers, right?
3-4 hours I worked. This whole process took, right?
Right.
And that's getting kind of in the late afternoon or supper
and we're
time
actually
or something.
going to hour 5, I think.
I think it was on hour 5, right?
But then, inspiration struck in the form of thunder.
Thunder, there's a storm over there. I could, isn't that beautiful? Thunder. And then I thought, thunder, lightning, storm, waves.
Whoa.
Waves.
Time to go.
Time to go. I can't be sitting out in the middle of this gym because there's a storm coming.
Yeah.
Every fisherman knows that.
Get focused.
Get focused.
Get focused and stay
so then
focused.
all of a sudden my cables just all kind of came together and I both did them and I turned the steering wheel and it would work.
All right.
So it started just fine.
Right.
Away, down the road.
Yeah.
And give it another turn, and there's nothing.
Oh,
Nothing. And then it caught something.
Catches.
Okay,
Why
just
is that?
inch it over here. Well, because the cable
I don't think
underneath the
that's enough.
steering wheel is all off too. So out comes my anchor.
Again. Oh no.
And I
the
get
storm's
underneath.
coming.
And the storm's coming.
Curses.
And it's just
But you got it put back
I
together.
got it all put back together.
Because you're a captain.
I'm a captain.
All right.
I'm a certified captain.
With your hat
I did
and
it together,
everything.
trailer park style.
Trailer park style, ladies and gentlemen. And
How to
another
be
happy
handy.
ending. How to
And
be handy. Stay focused. Whatever
Stay
it takes.
focused.
3 hours, 5 hours. She's going into hour 5. Stayed focused. Got it done.
Right.
Because here you just have to be handy.
Absolutely.
Joyce is, and I'm learning.
Right.
And if you've got tips on how to be handy, send them to us. Speak up and talk back, ladies and gentlemen. Speak up and talk trash with us, with each other. And certainly feel free to send us your thoughts and your ideas. And, what you want to talk about, we'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
We're
everything,
open.
ladies and
We're
gentlemen.
open. Just send them on in.
Send them on in.
Yep. We'll do a little research and get back to you on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So look it, as Joycey, and probably the folks at home too, I always like to end the show with a funny story. And so, look at the backstory to this funny story is some of you folks may know, I'm a Buddhist, so capture and release, like I said, everything, wherever I am, my house or yours, and Joyce bears witness to this all the time, and so that brings me to, please tell the folks at home your recent ant story, the ant story, Joycey.
I get this all the time, don't kill this, don't kill that, and then just have to kind of stop and think about it. I get up in the morning, and I looked in my toilet, and there was one of those big those big black ants. They come in parts. They kind of look like like a transformer. It could stand
a transformer.
in it, but it's big.
And ants are so
And
cool.
so then I'm thinking,
They're
my
so
first
cool.
thought, okay, well, I can't pee on it. So I guess I'll just flush it, and then I thought, that would be crude. That'd be crude.
Yeah, his whole life down the toilet, literally.
I can't believe I had to go and get a stick. Pick the ant up out of the toilet.
Oh, I love it.
Put him on the
Joycey.
floor and let him and the cat talk about it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's it. No, yeah.
I'm so impressed. I'm so proud, Joycey. That's
I'm the hunter and the fisher.
I know,
Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just really glad you chose no harm with that little ant.
To the little ant.
Because every life is precious. Look, we don't all get to live, and I get that, right?
Yeah.
If we're eating today, some cabbage or cow is giving up his life, right? Not everybody gets to live. But
so I didn't go all the way. I did leave it between my cat, Seymour, and the ant. And the floor.
Right.
So
and
the
ants
ant,
are
as soon as I
fierce
put him
and
down,
diligent, he had a good chance.
as soon as I put him down, he took off, and the cat was
Good
looking,
luck.
and I went back to the bathroom.
Right.
I don't even know the end of the story.
Right.
So I did my part.
And I'm going to go with a happy ending on
Yes,
that one.
all right. So that's it.
And I'm happy for that
I'm
ant's chance.
I am converted.
I'm
I'm
so
converting
pleased.
you.
I'm so
She's
pleased.
converting me.
So now, I think that finishes up this week's show, Joycey, unless I forgot something or you got something to add or, I just want to say thanks to everybody at home for joining us. We really appreciate you watching, and we love your feedback. Keep talking to us. Talk back and talk trash.
Yeah,
and
we want something.
And thanks a lot for joining us.
Your ideas.
Yeah.
To talk about.
So from the trailer park, that's Joycey.
I'm Joycey.
And I'm Terry.
And that's Terry.
And we're the Trailer Park Girls talking trash.
Talking trash.
Have a good week.
And I go now.
Toodles.
I'm on my way.
On your way, yeah.
Toodles.
Are you in the tippy shoes? No.
No.